This is a performer profile of Waterloo bluesman, harmonica player Louis McTizic. He can be heard at area clubs, private parties, and fundraisers. Louis performs with the band Louis McTizic and the Blues Review, featuring Ethelene Wright playing guitar, Sam Cochran on bass, and Toby Cole on keyboards, with Rush Cleveland on lead guitar, Mike Black on drums, and Will Campbell singing.
Born in a little town east of Memphis called Baltimore, Tennessee. I was a cotton farmer. There was 12 of us in the family. I was the ninth child. There was 4 boys and 8 girls. So my father, we was real poor, but we made it anyway. You know? So I used to get some blues out of Memphis, Tennessee. 15 minutes every day they would play, you know, a couple of blues stuff. And I liked the Little Walter style, you know. And I tried my best to blow like it. I mean, I carried a harp around, man, every time you see me, I had one. It wasn't half blow, it's bent and full of dirt and everything else, but, you know, I had it. I know we had old big piano, and some guy sneaked over there and taught me how to play the blues when my folks were real religious. My father's a minister, my mother's a missionary. And he would come over when they go to church, because I'd tell him, you know, don't come over while they're here, because they don't like you to play no blues. So he kept coming over till I learned how to play the piano. And man, when they'd leave, I'd be playing the piano, and my sister and things be trying to dance. So one time I was playing the piano, and I thought my dad went to town, but he didn't. And man, I really had it going. He come in there and took one look at me. He didn't say nothing that surprised me. So he told my mother, say, Louis is playing the blues today, but say, I didn't bother him because maybe he might learn how to play something else, you know.
call it that down-home style, you know, Little Walter, Sonny Boy, that kind. You know, and he's a good singer, too. You know, Louis and Ethelene both good singers. So, yeah, they already had it together, Louis and Sam. And got it right down. We just to play along with them. You know, I get to dress out the top, play a little slide, play a little guitar, you know, stuff like that.
I lived at 1957, and I came up here, and my sister lived here in Waterloo. So after I got up here, she had one of them old big old-fashioned TVs it had. I found out it had an amplifier in the back. So I went down to the music corner and bought a deal that would fit that. And when they would go to work, man, I'd get that harp. And you know, you talking about keeping up noise and trying to learn how to blow, and then I would play one of Little Walter's records right along with me. And then trying to learn how to blow, but what I found out is a guy out of Chicago named Jesse Williams. Now, he taught me more about music than anybody because nobody ever told me that. I would try to blow a harp in the same key with the guitar. But that won't work. See, a harp is 4 down. In order to sound like a guitar, you got to go 4 away from what the guitar is tuned in. Like, say, for instance, if you playing in the key of E on the guitar, I got to have an A harp to blend in with you. And that's really important because I couldn't figure out why I could never sound like the guy, like we get on the shade tree or something, be trying to play, and nobody was sounding alike because we weren't smart enough to know what keys to be in. I played a little guitar too. I used to be pretty good by myself. I used to play the guitar and blow the harp all at the same time. In those bootleg houses, or either we'd block off a little street out there and play in the streets, you know. Used to be a street they called Cascading. I don't know whether you're familiar with Waterloo or not. A little street they called Cascading was only 2 blocks long anyhow, so the police let us block it off every time we get ready, you know. And then later had a old right in the garage there, and that's why I'd be in there playing, you know.
During the late 1950s and early 1960s, Waterloo was a common destination for nationally known blues bands. Guitarist Earl Hooker and the Soul Twisters, harmonica players Jimmy Reed and Little Walter, plus Iron and Board Sam, B.B. King, Howlin' Wolf, and many others regularly played at Waterloo night spots. Though they're gone now, places like the Tick-Tock Lounge, the Knights of Pythias Hall, the Masonic Lodge on Mobile Street, and Jimmy's Lounge regularly hosted blues recording artists.
I guess it must have been in the 80s before I even got on the stage. You know, guys, musicians not like we do, Jack. They you know, if a guy said he got talent, he's gonna get a chance to prove it, because if I'm playing, he can come up there and play. But those guys, hell, they wouldn't let me on stage with them. Most of them would, well, Earl Hooker and Tommy Tucker and all them guys. See, Tommy Tucker blowed some harp too. So I asked him if he would let me get up and play with him. So he wanted to come over to my house and hear me blow. So he brought his bass over and he heard me blow, and he never would call me. Because, you know, I was better at it than he was, you know. So he wasn't gonna let me get up on the stage with him. And a lot of other guys, if they found out you could play, they didn't want you up there. If you couldn't play, then they would let you up there. But you could play. Muddy Water used to sing about "Baby, Please Don't Go," and Little Walter would be blowing it, see. So on that song, you would make the harp say what the, you know, like the word would say. Now what he's saying, baby, please don't go back to New Orleans, you know I love you so. And then I'm gonna make it say, I believe your man done gone and left the county phone, you got the shackles on. Now this come from a guy, you know, in prison, you know.
In July of 1996, Lewis and the Blues Review were invited to be participants of the Festival of American Folklife in Washington, D.C. For 12 days, they entertained people from all over the world as part of the Smithsonian Institution's Iowa Community-Style Cultural Exhibition.
Well, we had kids and everybody there, you know. Old, and I'll tell you, a couple of old women, I tell you, man, you should have seen them get down, you know. I really thought that was fun, you know.
Were the people that you talked to, were they somewhat surprised that you were an Iowa-based group?
Yeah, they said, well, I didn't know no blues band was within Iowa, and I didn't know no black people within Iowa either. They said, I said, man, he said, you mean Ohio, don't you? I said, no, Iowa. They just couldn't believe, you know. They didn't think we'd get them to grow corn here, and that was it, you know.
Lewis and the Blues Review will be performing in Des Moines August 24th and 25th on the grounds of the Iowa State Capitol building. This, the first festival of Iowa folklife, is in conjunction with the Iowa Sesquicentennial celebration. For more information, call 1-800-IOWA-150.
I still like the blues. I still like the blues. I like the other music too, but my choice is really the blues, you know. I get up. Give me a feeling. I used to had to get drunk in order to play something, you know. Man, about an hour before time to play, man, I had to get me a jug, and I just damn not drink it all, getting up nerves. But now I can't drink since I'm on dialysis. So when Ethelene get to playing that guitar like it's supposed to be, man, I get just as high as I was if I was drinking. You know, if I heard somebody say that, I didn't believe it. But it's true with me. Good music, man, I tell you, I really get some music high.
It's a lot better on your body, too.
You ain't a kid. Nobody cares about me. I don't even have a friend. My baby gone and left me. Will my trouble end? Black night is falling. Yeah, I hate to be alone. I keep crying for my baby, but I guess another day is gone. That's all. In the key of D, if you were going to play a guitar with it. Boy, you get kind of warm up and you're going to using a little air, I tell you.
But I 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4. Heavy loaded, baby. Booked and I got to go. Crying, baby. Baby, don't you wanna go? back to the land of California, sweet home Chicago.